I mean, it was such great advice. I could never thank them enough. And with that, I followed their advice step by step by step, methodically. I mean, I remember it very clearly, step by step. I didn't deviate even in the slightest. It was almost like color by numbers. And my first million showed up, and it was like all the money in the world. And I did again, and like a Monet, right? Just boom, perfection, exactly right, another mill. So just rinse and repeat over and over and over and over and over and over again. Just, I mean, that's life changer. Now it's like nothing, right? Now it's like nothing. So anyways, so let's finish this. Where did my drawing tool go? Maybe. Might be before, but probably not today. You guys with me? Got really quiet. Let's move over to Beast. All right, cool. You know, see, like the little pieces that I'm picking up on are these moves here, right? And remember, we were expecting a move like this. Doesn't mean it's it's actually an upward move, but this is the move we were expecting, right? So I more and more I'm trying to confirm, right? Because if we can start breaching certain levels, it should go up for quite some time. But remember, what I'm really expecting, because of the size of the drop, what I'm really expecting in sort of like the real world, it's not like what I want, but what I think will happen will be something like, that's not the right price, but I'll just make up something. You know, something like that at some point. Okay. No, actually, Ed, what happened was my business internet died. Sometimes it does it for a second, but I sat there for like 30 seconds and the internet was gone. But luckily, I have a second internet. I have 2 coaxial cables coming into my office. So I just switched to the other one and tickety-boo. But that one is also very unstable. I don't know why. Probably because it's AT&T and they give me crappy hardware. But anyway, so I just switched. So if you're going to be a baller in the Forex world, make sure you got more than one internet. And the interesting thing is, you know, when they come to service my home, they're like, "Oh my God, I just found out your problem. There's a second coaxial cable." Like, yeah, that's not my problem. Is this Comcast? Like, what kind of idiot would have 2 coaxial cables from Comcast? Then what is it? That's AT&T. They're like, "No way!" So anyways, yeah, for sure, yeah. So anyways, they're blown away by it. Oh wait, I wanted to stick with yens for congruency. So I don't want to do CAD quite yet. I guess I should be on the yen pairs. Let's go back to that. Okay. Okay. So we look at some of these, and they're bottoms, but they're not reversals. You know what I mean? So someone talked about this yesterday. They said something about, bullish on Aussie yen. And I had to pick on it a little bit, but, I need to pick on myself too, because what I said is I'm expecting, not even expecting, I'm planning. There's a difference, right? There's a difference between expecting and planning. I am planning for a reversal in Aussie yen, but I'm not bullish on it until I've confirmed the reversal has occurred. So if I'm buying this thing, it may not be because I'm bullish. What am I doing? Well, I'm actually buying a bottom. There's a difference. I can't be bullish on it in a market like this. Look at the market. Right? But I can buy a bottom if I'm anticipating at some point in the near future the development of a reversal, of which, when confirmed by technical analysis, then I can be bullish. How do you make the rectangle show up next to the... Oh, you just customize your toolbar. I guess that should go into the training course, huh? Okay, see that? You just customize them. You can add things and remove things. Insert, remove. Isn't that nice? What is the procedure to join summer school? Well, better late than never. You've probably received a coupon code. Which may or may not work anymore. If you have the coupon code, you should try it. That's all I'm saying. Or email me, wayne@fxbootcamp.com. But it's funny because I'm going back to school. I guess I have 2 weeks left. Which is amazing because, like, as soon as I got out of summer school, what was the first thing I did? Boom, I went to the Ritz-Carlton. took my family to the beach. I had cocktails, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm done. Air conditioning, it's so nice. And now I have to go back to school. Now I'm all bummed out. I'm like, oh my God, I have to go through another year of this torture. So I'm taking my family to the Ritz-Carlton. A different one, though. This time we're going to rent boats. Wait, hang on, kids. Stop it, Daddy. Stop it. I got to work out some frustration. But I guess so. I'm thinking, you're like, well, if I'm not in school, I guess the summer school coupon should be valid. But if it's not, email me, Wayne@fxbootcamp. But if you don't have it, I'm not giving it to you. Because it was from so long ago. All right. So anyways, so I'm putting all that together. How do you feel about my trade? Seems to be all right. So if we reach the top of this, I am going to lock in, let's say, 50 pips profit or 30 pips or 25 pips, whatever. And then I'm going to walk away for maybe forever. Well, not really forever. I'm not even going to look at it until Thanksgiving. No, I have not sent out the swing trading group. I created a new website. I've created a new website, so it's not sitting on my server yet. I guess I can give it to you. If you're going to join. It might be only, let's say, 95% done. So if a color is funny or a button is ugly, don't yell at me. But since I'm not going to be around for a few hours, what is it? It's, oh, I guess I'm going to put this in. I should just copy and paste because I can't type this time of day. So if, there we go. And it looks like it even, I don't know why it did that. So yeah, it'll work. There's just sort of silly funkiness to it because it's a new site like anything else. And then I'll roll it over to the new server. So if you're interested in joining, we're starting on Friday. We're integrating Zoom, so I'm going to a different webinar software, which will work better and all that kind of stuff. So that's funny. So anyways, there it is if you want to get going. So that's sort of the pre-release. All right, so anyways, so this is a time-based swing. Look where I am now. Like my current bottom is the weekly central pivot, which is really cool. So if we can get this a little higher, maybe hit the this area, I'll lock in some pivots and then ignore it for a couple of months. Okay. So that's, let's take a look at Kitty Cad. Same sort of thing. We're trying to watch the birth of a reversal. We predicted it in advance, which is a hypothesis. Then we created a plan for entry and exit, really, because of the stop. So we entered that, and now we're giving it time to just mature. And if we can get above this area, and then, of course, obviously this area, I'll feel a lot more comfortable about confirming. So that's what technical analysis does. Remember, the technicals don't really put you into a trade. They just confirm or deny the market conditions, right? So when this was falling, we had a plan that somewhere around the third week of August, we would be buyers. So this was straight down like a ton of bricks. Then we got a double bottom. Then we got a higher high. And then we're like, oh, well, it's about the third week. And we got ourselves a double bottom. So why don't we buy sort of a retracement down in here? So it fell for a couple more days, and then it was bought. Cool. So now, then our stop was down here, and it worked our way up here. So now I moved my stop to break even. And now we're just sort of letting it mature like a fine wine. And maybe it works out, maybe it don't. But I don't have any risk. So what's the worst case scenario? I collect swap every day. You know what I mean? That's the worst case scenario. Now, again, if I can get up to here or ideally breach that, then I lock in a small profit, call it, reward for the risk I took, maybe like a day's profit or MAP if you do minimal acceptable performance, and then just move on to the next trade. So what else is going on? Okay. We were wondering if this is going to work its way down. The idea here is, what if the yen pairs don't reverse? What if they continue the trend? Well, you got to have a plan for that, ideally, right? And so what if they would fall? Well, if the pound yen is going to fall, right, based on swing trading methodology, you would sell there. Oh, I forgot to mention that with the swing trading group. This includes the swing trading course. Okay, that includes, so that's going to save you $1,000. Okay. Forgot to include that. So anyways, so if you're a swing trader and you know what you're doing, if it's going to fall, because we don't know if it's going to, right? So what's the basis of the strategy? If this pair falls, then it would be at this price. Okay, that's this, right? So now you use technical analysis. Capiche? Now technical analysis becomes important and say, well, we need to use technicals to identify not where price reverses, but when is the plan. And when you see a reversal plan or reversal pattern at the top of this channel on that weekly pivot, then you take a shot to the downside, first target's there. And that's a weekly swing. But then you might want to develop that into next month's trade plan. And this week's swing could turn into all of September swing. And of course, if that happens, it might turn into all of October swing. And if that happens, it might also last all the way till Thanksgiving, but that's not the trend I want. That might happen. So what I've done is I've sort of split things. If you're not clear on what I did, I have this ginormous hypothesis based on nothing but seasonality. And I said, yen pairs might go up. So therefore, in the middle of summer, when nothing's happening, I identified the prices in which that might occur. Then I sat there waiting for weeks and weeks and weeks until that bottom started to develop right where I would have expected. And then in the third week of August, like I told you 6 months ago, I took a shot. But why did I go Aussie and CAD? Well, I would have gone Kiwi, except Kiwi is cutting. Australia is stable. I guess I need to talk about that one. But also what I did is I looked at the currencies I have available. And I said, if I'm bullish, which ones would I be bullish on? But if I'm wrong, if that hypothesis is wrong and the market becomes bearish, which ones would I be bearish on? Things like Great British Pound, for example. If there's a deal done between the United States and China, all global markets are going to rally. But which ones are most affected in a positive way with a resolution to a global trade war? Well, that'd be Australia, closest trading partner. And what are the two major exports out of Australia? Iron ore and coal. Who buys clean coal and iron ore? And by the way, if you take coal of any kind and you sprinkle it on molten iron, you just created steel. Oh, snap, really? Yeah, you don't play Minecraft? So, wow. So, if China's suddenly in business again and their economy booms, China's going to need some iron ore and coal and everything else Australia produces, and they produce a lot more than that, but those are the big ones. Right, look, if you don't know Minecraft, right, like if you don't know how to use a crafting table properly, like imagine this, guys. Everyone on this planet below the age of 16 knows how to make steel. When you say it to a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old, they're like, no shit, really? Is that how you make steel? Every child knows how to do it, and it's from Minecraft. But anyways, so that's what I've done is I've kind of split the herd and made if-then statements. If the market goes bullish, then I'm going to play these pairs. If the markets then resume the bearish trend, then I'm going to play these pairs down. You see? And then you start tiptoeing in based on some sort of logic. And the logic, of course, is based on your bias. So if this beast drops, that's a weekly swing. It's just a boring weekly swing that will probably, if the market turns bearish, take you from, I can't see that for the life of me. I can't see that. And these are my dollar store glasses, I think. I can't see. So it's going to drop from from basically 30 to possibly 25, 50, certainly 26. So there's 300 to 350 pips in that faux show. Okay? Faux show in that to the downside. Without a doubt, that's what swing trading is, son. Boom, boom. Okay? But the problem is I'm going the other way on a couple other pairs, so I don't want to jump in too quickly. But if we breach this price, then we'll probably head here, and then we'll probably head here, then we'll probably head here. And I'm laughing all the way on my CAD, my Aussie, and everything else I start buying. Should we start placing it? Well, don't place it up. Do not listen to me. Well, I should say, listen to me. Do not move your stops to +1. It's deranged. It's a clear sign you don't know what's going on. So if you have a guru somewhere else on YouTube that says, I have 90% win ratio, and he's got a bunch of trades locked in at +1, you should run away. Loserville has no idea how the professional world works. I've explained it many times, and now is not the time and place, but I've explained it many, many times, and it's just a huge red flag. If someone has a large winning ratio of 90%, they don't know what they're doing. And if you don't understand, then you don't know what you're doing, but that's cool. We'll take care of it. I just don't want to go into a big speech right now. But it's a surefire dead giveaway to any professional investor that they would break out in laughter during your presentation of why they should invest their millions with you. And you say, well, because I have a 90% win rate. It's just like, it's just huge. It's just this ginormous thing. Like, this trader has no idea what's going on. And they just laugh and walk out. So anyways, don't worry about it. And I guess I should preface why. They do not know how to take a loss properly. They don't understand that they're explaining to professionals that they don't understand how to take a loss. They don't know how to take a loss, then the risk is extremely high that they will lose a client's money to protect their pride and not the other way around, right? And then, of course, lastly, they just don't understand how the professional investor community works. And they don't understand like risk-adjusted performance. They don't even understand how track record and history even works. Like, it's just a ginormous red flag. But what typically follows someone pitching that is that they have a 90% win ratio, so you should follow their trades and pay them money and be successful like them, and it's bullshit. So anyways, enough of that. So the big question, long on this one. Well, you notice I didn't go long on this one. I didn't go long pound yen. I didn't go long euro yen. But the ones I did go long are up here. You see that? So I'm up, 50, 60 pips each. And pound yen and euro yen are like pretty much still where the entry would have been, right? And that's because I have a bias, and I said, well, I don't want to buy euro yet. I don't want to buy pound yet. I need to see what the global market does. Okay, now I did want to talk, not Kiwi actually, I want to talk about dollar. How many people here read the the Reserve Bank of Australia's meeting minutes? We talked about it on Monday. 4 or 5 people actually said they would do it. Did anyone read? Sky Killer, there's so many scammers on YouTube these days that this channel is the only one that you watch every day. Well, thank you. Okay? And they said, look, the board has cut interest rates quite a bit. And that they're watching the economy closely. They're also watching the global economy closely. They are not going to cut interest rates in September. But they got their eyes open. Like they're still into the idea of lower rates. They need to watch their own economy as well as the global economy. But they're not going to do it on the short run. So basically not in September, but by the end of the year, totally could happen. Okay. Did you guys read that? So the first response to that is, well, that should be supportive on the short run for Aussie. And maybe that's why my interest's here and this is behaving that way. It's cool, right? That's why I went Aussie first, let's say, and look at pound. Pound doesn't look like this. Look at euro, hasn't even made a higher high here. Look, this is, right, moving much better. Adrian, dude, what's up? Adrian still, I don't know what you're saying, Adrian. Adrian, you're posting like one word yelling comments. I don't know what's going through your mind, bro. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Why do you say one word? And you said cheers, and then before that you said dude, and then before that you said still, and then before that you said after. I don't know what you're talking about. Throw a bunch of words together, and I'm happy to help, man. Well, how do I feel about it? I love it when the markets are falling. One of my favorites besides yen is Swissy. Okay, so that's why I'm going really gently into that good night where, you know, look at Euro Swissy. Monthly target, by the way. Look at the entry, exits, perfect, right? Swing traders, every swing trader will tell you if that's your entry, this is your target. Not this, this. Cool, man. Cool beans. But anyways, that's very, very, very down. This is even further down. Okay. This I'll have to back up a little bit, but you see these are all bearish targets, right? So I'm looking for congruency, not necessarily that Swissy's weak, but that global macroeconomics have stabilized, okay? And that traders are, really what's happening is traders are coming back from vacation, and they're like, what the heck is this nonsense? Who drove who spiked the Swissy? Well, I think really what's happened is this move here, if I'm right, if we start collecting money on all these swing trades, well, they're actually carry trades, right? So if my carry trade portfolio grows, what you'll end up seeing is this move here on everything, including the ends, was partially, but maybe significantly, based on people taking profit, then going on vacation because they didn't want to leave the risk in the market. You see what I mean? So that they weren't necessarily bearish, they just didn't want to take the risk on going away for a month and coming back and found out they lost $10 million or something, right? So they left, they cashed out, then left on vacation, and guess what they do when they come back? They buy it again, right? Like, as simple-minded as that sounds, you have to remind yourself, Forex is not a video game. This is just market participants trading with each other. And so if they left the market, that's what happens. And if they re-enter the market, then it go back the other way. But what we're asking ourselves now is now the time to buy? And I'll say, well, it's a bit early, but that might form a bottom. That would be a decent price for a bottom to form. But I'll feel more comfortable when we're above that. I think you would agree with that. And so what we need is sort of an up, 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 down, down, buy, up, 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 up. And that, my friend, is September. See, I already have September planned out. September. So, talk to me, Goose. Okay. September opens hot. It fades for 2 weeks. Fading mean, does this for 2 weeks. And then we resume the uptrend going into October. Okay. That's my plan A. Plan B is that's what September looks like. Comes down, makes a double bottom, heads back up, kicks onto the channel, and we end September pretty close to the price we started September. So what does that do to the pivots? Well, that's going to tighten the pivots a bit. But then Trump announces some sort of resolution or some sort of deal or some sort of good news, and we break through the pivots, and the upside target in October is R3, not R2. Because remember, we would have tight pivots because of a tight September. Because we didn't get the higher low, higher high, we got the double bottom back to the top of the range, so the pivots tighten. So therefore, if we have a breakout scenario, we want to go to R3. So now I have October planned. And of course, I have a different plan for October if September is the reversal month. So like, yeah, dude, seriously. How many people like that there's an entire thought process to all of this? Okay. How do you know if it's on a downtrend? Well, that's what technical analysis tells you, Dylan. Oh, we're building it, Luthando. It's just thousands of dollars, though. But if you hang on, it'll be made. Oh, you mean posting? I thought you meant the trade planner. Yeah. I think I found that some people were very, very, very dedicated to posting and putting in detailed trade plans and benefiting themselves and the communities and the community, and the other 99.5% didn't. So instead of being frustrated with the whole thing, I just pulled it. Gary says highly logical. Cool. Okay. So I gotta go, guys. Let me do one more. You're also no. Let's pick something else. Let's go. Let's burn through like gold and oil, for example. Let's just do that. I'm not going to answer a question like that, Dylan. You need to learn technical analysis and do it for yourself. So I'll teach you technical analysis, or you can take a course, or you can ask questions about that. But if you don't have a bias, I'm not going to give you a bias. I already posted that, Kenneth. Let's see if it's still in my, yeah. There you go. Okay, I need to go through gold and oil, and then I gotta get out of here, guys. So I like this setup, but of course I need pivot points. So this is basically a price action scenario, but without the pivot points. I like the pivot points, so I'll throw that in there, and you'll see that we're at the neutral zone, but kicking off of a bullish entry. Okay, so if I were a bull, this would be my trade plan for the week, which means the entry's come and gone. Cool. Is there anything more to add to that? No, not really. You should be able to see that there's like very, very obvious support there. Even if you're not a swing trader, there's very obvious support there. But is there anything to do now? Not really. I mean, you might be thinking of adding a new one here. That's pretty aggressive. I mean, you certainly could do it. I would only do it on a day trading basis. Do we have any day traders here? Okay. And even that doesn't look very good. So it's okay, you know. See, the thing is, I don't like being caught in the middle of the range, right? So if I'm going to buy low, I buy low. Great. And now it's off to the races. Now, on a daily basis, you would have bought this at the London Open. So I don't know what you'd be doing now if you didn't trade the London Open. This looks more down than up, but you know, if you longed here, that's perfect. Doing something now with it seems very, very, very late. So an entry was here, an entry was here, and it comes down to really what's going to happen in the next week. So the day trade is done, and then you go to like, where's my weekly only? And it's a very similar play. You would have bought it Monday if you were a weekly swing trader. You would have bought it at London if you were daily. So, like, where's my drawn tool? So, delete. If you're a swing trader on a weekly basis, you would have bought down in this area. It's very, very, very clear. Very, 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 very clear. And then if you were a day trader, you would have bought it here. Now, that's pretty clear. I mean, it's very clear. If you're a bull. Both of these are from the bias if you're a bull, so you're a buyer. So you would have bought here on Monday, you would have bought here on the London Open. And what do you do now? Not much, actually. Not much. If you're a bear, then you're going to, I'm not sure if this was, I mean, it's not a weekly, right? The bearish price is up here. So you wouldn't have sold here unless maybe we go back to a daily setup. Let me do that just quickly. Yeah, I suppose you could have. It's an aggressive play on an upward move, but that is a bearish entry. You know, at the open of the day. Would you add another one? I don't think I'd add another one if I was a bear. I would wait for tomorrow. So yeah, it seems to me like if someone's doing something now, like they didn't do it here and they didn't do it here and they didn't do it here, if they're just waking up and they're like, man, I got to get a trade on, where's my gold? I don't think they know what they're doing. I think they're looking for trades, and maybe they're stuck on on a 15-minute chart, and they're scalping. I mean, that's the other thing. If you're just scalping, that's fine. But I don't think that's the right way to do this one, or at least for me. Yeah. And then let's do some oil. Where'd my oil WTI? Oh, I think I did WTI, didn't I? A little higher than the sell. Well, let's just very quickly review WTI. So we talked about this as being a support, right? And we use this to identify, or not identify, use it to make clear changes of direction. So like if we breach this area, technically that's important, right? Because we're in the higher quadrant of the downtrend. Now it's still technically bearish, but a lot less bearish than it used to be, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Was that silver? Someone made me do silver one day and then I forgot. Sorry, I got to delete that. Remind me tomorrow to delete it. So anyways, I think we can agree that this is a plausible bottom for not a reversal, bottom, right? First of all, this is the projected bottom of the month. This is the projected bottom of that week, and it's a double bottom. So I know for a fact we talked about this being a potential reversal, right? That's why we identified with the downward trend, that with the regression channel, that not that we're keeping it a regression, but more like it's clearly changed if we've had a rally like this, right? So how do you buy a rally if you're a bull? Well, this is why we use a regression channel. What does regression mean? What does it mean to regress? Return. Turn where? To the average. This is the average price, this blue. So it regressed. And the theory is when you're down here or you're up here, you return to the average price. So anyways, if you're a swing trader, for example, here's your weekly swing. Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m., you would log in. You're like, man, I wonder if I'm going to get an opportunity to buy oil. And it opens up at exactly your price. Like it's a slap in the face, obvious. If you're already a bull and you already have a trade plan, you've already put all this together, it's the one thing you were waiting for all weekend. The market opens and gives you the price. All right, boom, you're going long. Now, do we know if that's going to work out? No. You never know if it's going to work out, but this is the plan. And then, of course, if you're going to continue, you need to probably return to this falling regression channel and buy that in September. So what we're looking at quite clearly here is this is Monday's entry, and next Monday's entry is probably going to be about this pivot point. So this week's plan and next week's plan looks like this. Up, 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 down, down, buy. And then next week will be up, 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 up. Cool. What do you stink? Smell like a plan? Woo, woo, woo. Oh, I don't sleep enough. Gotta go, yo. Thank you for being on my team. Thank you for being a client to Traders Way. Thank you for being a positive influence on our community. Thank you for the loyalty and respect you show me every day, and sometimes the patience. But thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being a customer of Traders Way. Thank you for being a subscriber of Forex.Today. And I will see you tomorrow and the next day, and then we'll have a fabulous weekend. Then I'll see you Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and then we'll have another fabulous weekend. And then I believe that Monday I'm back in school. Oh, what? But have a wonderful day.